Hey, let's talk about drama in the workplace. Now, drama happens in the workplace when people allow their emotions to get in the way when they should be dealing with issues. So I have no idea what the reason may be. There's a number of them. It may be fear of looking bad. It may be fear of being blamed for something that they really didn't do. Whatever it is, the emotion takes over, and then when people allow their emotions to get involved, they look for places to vent. They look for people to be on their side. It just makes the whole situation worse and gets further and further away from actually dealing with the issue that started the whole thing. So here's a couple of examples that may help out. In one situation, an individual, let's call him Bob, was waiting for some information from another individual, let's call him Jack, so that Bob could complete a report and furnish it to a third individual, let's call her Mary. Well, as it turns out, Jack didn't have the information that Bob needed, and Jack asked Bob to cover for him and also told Bob that Mary said it was all right. Well, Bob took Jack at his word, and then when the report got incomplete to Mary, Mary said, well, gee, what's going on? I didn't give anybody any permission. So Bob decided that Jack had purposely lied to him and set him up and got all emotionally spun up. And then the issue never did get resolved, and those two people are now permanently mad at each other, and Mary's disappointed because she hasn't got the report that she needs. Well, what should have been done is that when Bob asked Jack for information, Jack said, hey, I haven't got it, but I need you to cover for me, but Mary said it was going to be okay. Bob should immediately have said, okay, good, let's go check with Mary. Now, Jack, if he was doing something wrong, may have said, well, what do you mean? Don't you trust me? And Bob should have responded, well, of course I trust you. That's why I'm asking you to come along with me while we check with Mary. And that could have stopped things right in its tracks, and no emotion would necessarily be involved, except Jack may be emotional because he got caught doing something wrong. Since it didn't work out that way, and things are still spun up, then Bob now needs to go to Jack and say, hey, look, we had a misunderstanding here. You didn't give me the information. For whatever reason, Mary said that she did not tell you that it was okay. How are we going to deal with this so it doesn't happen in the future? And by the way, I need that information from you so I can complete the report and make Mary happy in the next 30 minutes or the next day or whatever a reasonable time frame is. So that last scenario, that was dealing with the issues, not getting all bent out of shape because somebody didn't behave the way they were expected to behave. So here's another example. Two people thought they were charged with the same task and that they were going to work cooperatively. Well, one of those individuals, let's call her Betty, just took it on herself to get the thing done without informing the second individual who was supposed to be involved, and let's call him Harry. So then Harry found out that Betty did it. Harry thought he was going to look bad, so he got all jammed up and he went to other people and started complaining. Well, when Harry knew, by the way, that Betty was going to go ahead and do that, and even if he didn't, it really didn't matter. What he should have done, and instead of getting all jammed up, was go to Betty and say, hey, maybe I misunderstood. I thought we were supposed to work on this together, kind of do it as a team, and where did we miss connection, and what can we do to make sure that this doesn't happen again? Or he could have had the conversation, say, hey, listen, Betty, I understand you went ahead and did this for yourself. I thought I was supposed to be involved, but maybe I got the wrong information. Really doesn't matter as long as the work got done. Is there anything that I can add to it last minute, or do you want me to review it for you so that we can make sure that everything's the way it should be before it moves on down the line? And by the way, what can we do and make an agreement between the two of us right now to make sure this doesn't happen again? Well, they didn't do that. So they got all jammed up. They got all spun up. They were eliciting help from other people to agree with them, and drop the productivity and increase the tension in the entire workplace. Not good. So a third scenario is, let's say something like between Henry and Betty happened, and Betty went to somebody to complain and was depending on that individual to resolve the issue. And that individual really didn't know what to do and really didn't didn't want to get involved, and I can't say as I blame them. But the skill that you can pick up in that situation is very easy. First of all, you allow people to be upset. So you say, listen, I understand you're upset, I get it, but what we really need to do is resolve the issue. So you can either go by yourself directly to Harry and get it resolved, or I'll be happy to come with you and we can work it out, the three of us, so we can resolve the issue and put things in place to make sure it doesn't happen again. So if you get invited along, because you probably will, once you get there, both Betty and Harry are still all spun up because somebody's wrong and it's not them. So you got to say, listen, I understand that you're upset. It's okay to be upset, but we've got to get rid of that right now because we have to focus on this issue and get it done. So let's move the emotions aside. Let's get this resolved. Let's work through it, get it done, and figure out a way that we can put things into place so this doesn't happen again. So there's three possible scenarios that you can use to help you if you're involved in workplace drama. The first step is try not to let your emotions get in the way. People are going to say inappropriate things. They're going to do things that shouldn't be done, whether they're do it on purpose or they were well intended but it just went wrong. Doesn't really matter. Leave your emotions out of the way. Don't be hypersensitive. Focus on the issue. If somebody you think does you wrong, go to them and say, hey, look, we need to talk about this. There's a misunderstanding. We need to fix it so we can get this done. If it takes you a while to get through your emotions before you do that, then fine. Take a while to get through them. But whatever happens, try to leave the emotions out of it. What happens is emotions make you less productive. They oftentimes will make you sick. They certainly make everybody that works around you very unpleasant, and it probably reduces their production. So having drama in the workplace is not healthy for the individuals involved and even for the individuals that aren't involved but have to deal with the fallout. So don't be dramatic. Talk about issues. Have fun. Do your job well. Cooperate with others. And the world will be a beautiful place. Thanks for watching.